Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. And with that, remember they are general readings, so not everything is going to resonate with everyone, and that is fine. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Chariot card. So it's really funny because for the past few weeks actually, Aquarius and Capricorn, your key to the week card has been, it's almost like you're following each other in a way, which I find really interesting. This card, yes, it's about victory and success, but for Capricorns, I said this was about a breakthrough, and I actually feel like this is the case for a lot of Aquarius people as well. Not only is this about a breakthrough, it's about a personal milestone this week. So in some regard, in some way, shape or form, something big takes place for Aquarius people, and I think this is going to see you having a moment where you're like, wow, you know what, I can't believe how far my life has come, how far I've traveled in terms of what I want to do, or in terms of who I'm becoming, or how I even appear or show up on the wider world stage in some regard. I think this is really nice, and I actually think it's going to be a very powerful moment of self-realization. The other thing with the Chariot card, it can literally be all about travel or all about movement in some way, shape or form. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves ya. So let's get into it. For your foundation card for the reading, you have the Nine of Wands. Acknowledging how far you've come sometimes means being vulnerable enough to say, at the time I didn't know any better, or you know what, the beginning wasn't as glamorous as the current circumstances that I'm experiencing. This, I actually think, is going to be a week where those personal realizations have a lot to do with other people. They have a lot to do with how you're connected to others, and more importantly, like even myself, you know, I'll be really honest with you. Gosh, when I was 29, turning 30, my whole life fell apart, you know, like literally everything fell out from underneath me, and I ended up back in my spare room, well, in my mum's spare room, you know, in the room that I grew up in, that I left home. Like my whole life, my whole world came to an end. So people see me like, oh, you know, that's Raph, Radiant Reality, and they see all of this. The reason I tend towards the motivational stuff, and I urge people to keep going and try to show to them what their potentials are, rather than the rough, crappy, shitty circumstances that they feel like they're in at this moment in time, is because I know what it is to have the, you know, life push the reset button on you and to feel like shit. You know what, I don't really know what I'm doing at the moment. I just know that someday it's going to be better than it is now. Well, this is why this week you have to acknowledge your past. You have to acknowledge your hurts. That's that Nine of Wands, right? Let yourself see where you've been so that you can truly appreciate everything that you've been able to create at this moment in time. So that when people look at you and they say, oh, you know, it's all right for you, you've achieved this, you can say, well, actually, you know what? I remember a time where it was pretty fucking bleak. So, you know, excuse my language, but like it's important, guys. Remember that this week, at the moment where, you know, if someone says, oh, it's all right for you, like, look how great your life is. Remember, right? If you have a moment like that where you say that to yourself, remember where you've come from. Remember what you've had to fight through to get to where you are. For your actions and options this week, you have the Death card. Releasing your past, right? This is the next stage of it. You have to acknowledge where you've been, and then you have to let that go, because it's no longer your experience. What and who you were, you know, and this is one thing that a lot of people try to do nowadays. You see it, like people dig up old videos and old quotes of celebrities, and it's like, this person did this in their past. Well, you know what? Show me a fucking modern day saint and I'll show you a bullshitter, quite frankly. There are no people who are always perfect, who are always on. Like, it's really important that you don't allow people to hold your present or your future to ransom based on who you've been or what you've had to experience in your life. So this week, if you find someone trying to use your current circumstances against you in some way, shape or form, the Death card basically says you're not here for it and you're not allowing it to happen. I'll go with that. For your communications and conversations, you have the Strength card. Right, beautiful. This is not only open, honest communication, this is continuation of offers and opportunities that have arisen for you. This is you finding the courage to go toe to toe with maybe a specialist or a subject matter expert. Like, in some way, shape or form, this is you recognizing and commanding your own brilliance and having the strength and the courage to do something that really feels right to you, even if you don't have the accolade. You know, maybe this is you get offered a job and, you know, all the people that had the right degree and all the rest of it didn't get it. And it's like, oh, well, you know, you don't even have a degree. And fucking what? I still got the top spot. Hello. Right? Like this week, you're going to have to find that, and it's really weird. Aquarius has been through this really interesting metamorphosis, right? For the most part of our lives, we're Aquarians. We know we're the aliens of the zodiac and we're not really too fussed about it. But for the last, I would say sort of 2 to 4 years, Aquarius went through this whole period where they were being completely broken down. Saturn in the 12th house, right? In Capricorn, in the sign before its own. So, you know, ascendant people especially, but Saturn and Moon as well, right? It's the 12th sign after yours. So we've gone through this period of everything that we thought we were and thought, you know, who I am and all the rest of it has been broken down. And now we're re-emerging as who we absolutely are. Saturn in Aquarius, right? Which is the original ruler of the sign. It's rebuilding you, refortifying you, recreating you and allowing you to recreate yourself. That takes courage, and I think this is what's happening at the moment. So yes, it's going to be a slow process. There's no events here, there's only processes. So, you know, enjoy that process. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, the Strength card is basically having the courage to go against the grain, having the courage to have that moment of acknowledgement, having the courage to maybe speak about stuff that you haven't spoken about before. That actually rings very true to me. There are going to be a lot more things that I'll be sharing in the future about my life, about my experiences. You know, it's definitely going to require the Strength card, that's for damn sure. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is again similar energy, but it's having the courage maybe to go after a different market, having the courage to maybe go toe to toe with the big boys, having the courage to say, okay, you know what, maybe I'm not from the right family, maybe I'm not haven't been in the niche for, you know, for as long as everybody else, maybe I don't have the degree, but you know what, I'm still going for it anyway. When it comes to those of you that are retired or no longer working, there's an acknowledgement here. It's funny that you have this as well, because the Strength card is Leo ruled, and obviously this week the Sun comes into Leo, so there's a lot going on with partnerships, communications, connections. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, that Strength card is basically seeing you orientate yourself for what comes next. This is you getting ready for whatever that next level is. For your money and materials, you have the Knight of Wands. This is you getting passionate, fiery, feisty and vibrant about the things that you really care about, the things that you're truly invested in and the things that you are really passionate about. And, you know, one of the things that Aquarius has gone through the process of is being comfortable with saying, actually, I'm okay to make money. I'm okay to make a lot of money. Usually Aquarians don't really care about that sort of thing, but they've gone through this new process. And this is why I say there's a new self emerging. This really suggests to me that this week you are looking at your plans and maybe you're redoubling your efforts. Maybe this week you're going to call yourself out on where you've been slacking. And it's like you're making all kinds of excuses for all kinds of things, and this week you're saying, you know what, not good enough. For your physical health and vitality, your lower back, your buttocks, your hips and your thighs, you're going to have to look after. This would be a really good week to do some good deep stretches or squats as well. I'm not a medical professional or a personal trainer, so I can't give you that kind of advice, but this is what I feel is right to tell you. And then when it comes to your home and environment, well, some of you it looks like you're gearing up to a move. Some of you it looks like you're gearing up to finish or start works on the home. Making it more comfy, making it more cozy, maybe even making it more of a boudoir. For your love and relationship with the Three of Cups. For those of you that are single, this week it looks like there could be a reconnection with a partner, an old partner, somebody that you dated in the past. If I'm honest, it feels like it's more of a fling kind of energy. Sorry, I got that itchy nose thing that happens every so often. For some of you, it's like a reconnection. It's the Three of Cups. But remember, this is fun and it's joyous and it's happiness. And that's really as much as you can ask for or need at this moment in time. For those of you that are married, partnered or in relationships, this suggests a much easier time of it than you've had in a while. It's the fun, the joy, the laughter, the excitement, and even the sexy times coming back to your relationship. It's also a card of pregnancy and birth. So if you don't want that experience, this would be a week to be careful. If you do want that experience, this would be the week to have a lot of fun. For your full moon message, you have the Gate 23 and Assimilate. And I always say with this card, you see the castle inside the snow globe represents your bigger goal, your bigger mission, the thing that you're driving towards. And this Assimilate card basically says you have to find a way now to build the vision in your head. You have to find a way, the courage, the energy, the push, literally the internal strength to make these things real, to no longer dream about them, but start doing them. And the full moon is literally in the sign of Aquarius. So in some way, shape or form, Sun, Moon and Sun, Moon and Ascendant Aquarians are being highlighted. The spotlight is on us in some way. Use it to your best advantage. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.